You're listening to The Saturday Show. It's Alan Maguire with you until 2 o'clock this afternoon. And again, I'll repeat that the text line and WhatsApp line 087 3737 956 open to you right now. It's great to welcome back into the studio, and for her first visit for 2025, Siobhan Kehoe, fertility expert and specialist, but not just fertility, as we are going to discuss. How are you, Siobhan?
Great, thanks, Alan. Thanks very much for asking me back onto the studio here with you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
I just hope you don't pick up my cough.
Yeah.
As soon as the microphone goes live, it starts. It's very that irritating tickle you get at the back of the throat.
I'll have to talk to you about some natural remedies at the end.
Cure me. Now listen, let's just remind people, because it's been a while since you've been on with us.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a website called the Fertility Treatment Centre, and I know you do far more than that. But let's just remind people of why you came on with me in the first place in the last year, and what you do.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. Well, for anyone that doesn't know me, maybe then I'll give a little bit of my background, Alan, will I? Yeah. And so my background is, well, I was probably always a curious child. I'm a farmer's daughter, and I think that my dad is listening in. Hi, Daddy. And, so I grew up amongst nature and understanding nature. And then I wasn't sure what career to pursue. I guess there wasn't a course that really suited me. I was interested in body intelligence, understanding why things happen as they do. But to make a long story short, I decided to study nursing. So I became first a registered general nurse, which I really enjoyed, in James's Hospital up in Dublin. And then I went on to study midwifery over in England. And while I respect Western medicine, I always felt we were looking at symptoms and not the root cause. So this brought me on to a whole journey of trying to look deeper. I ended up travelling the world for 2 years looking for answers. I had the privilege to stay with healers in Africa. I had the privilege to learn from healers in Asia. I was there for 3 months learning about meditation and how to go deeper within. And when I was in Australia, I had acupuncture and herbs for my own health issues at that time, and it really helped me. So much so, then I went on to study Chinese medicine for 5 years. It's the oldest medicine in the world. It's at least 4,000 years old. Some say 5,000 years old. And I studied that for 5 years, and it helped me understand more about the body intelligence, the mind, the body, how it's all one. We can't separate it, how we're nature and part of nature. And I found it all fascinating. And to be honest, there was more to it than even studying nursing, especially from the herb point of view. It was nearly like pharmacy, learning every single herb, all the qualities of the herbs, what herbs can be put together. And this really interested me on, that nature has the answers, and even most of the pharmaceutical drugs are made from herbs. So this brought me, deeper into understanding how we can help to heal the body by itself. So after doing that, I studied Western and Chinese medicine, I think altogether, for maybe between 11 and 12 years. Then I did another course on research. Then I did, lots of other smaller courses. And even after doing all this extensive study and work, I still found nature has been my biggest teacher. And will I talk a little? Yeah.
I was just thinking, you just mentioned about studying Chinese medicine. But you actually went to China to do that.
Yeah, well,
you worked in several hospitals in China.
Yeah, actually, well, I studied it, Alan, for 5 years here. All our lecturers were actually all Chinese, and they had very good English, but it was very authentic. And then our college was affiliated with hospitals over in Nanjing. So then I went to work in 3 hospitals over in China. Now, that was back in 2001. And boy, did I learn a lot when I was there. It was so interesting. And I also went to lectures over there too. Yeah, so it was kind of straight from the horse's mouth type of thing, yes. So I learned to understand, whereas here in Ireland, sometimes you might even think Chinese medicine might be a little bit airy-fairy, or what's it all about? But over there, I could see how Western and Chinese medicine can work well together. as an example, if someone had a stroke over there, first they would be admitted to the Western Hospital, which I was used to, and, you know, they have all the scans and blood tests and monitoring and all that. But in 24 hours, they'd usually get the acupuncturist in then, and, you know, and trying to balance everything and get everything right from a nerve supply point of view. And it was so interesting just to see how it all can work together. Now, it was more Chinese medicine, actually, but how both could work hand in hand. Yeah, so it was a great experience.
And you are a qualified acupuncturist?
Yeah, I'm a qualified acupuncturist, qualified herbalist, qualified registered general nurse, qualified midwife, but mainly now I would say I'm just a student learning every day, learning about nature, body intelligence. The more that I learn, the more I realise, you know, there's so much to learn. Yeah, so my work now is changed a bit, that it's more gone into, dare I say, my own ego takes a hit each time, because each time I think, you know, for example, when I was doing acupuncture, which I did very, dare I say, successfully for about 25 years, you know, and I was running 2-3 rooms at a time, and I was very, very busy, but I was helping people. I was helping move people's energy in the body, and which worked really well. But then I went on this whole deeper journey myself, and I realised people can move their own energy. People can tap into their own energy. So my work now is really about people empowering themselves, and I don't even like the word self-heal. It's more people recognising the truth of who they are, the nature of who they are, and how nature has their back, and tapping into that. Yeah,
it's interesting what you're saying there, because immediately you can feel that people will be saying, "Oh, all this business about energy within the body," you know. And even though we depend on energy, we take in food to create energy and to absorb energy, but people find it hard to accept about the energy field that exists within and indeed around our body. So it's getting that across.
Yeah,
must be quite difficult.
Yeah, well, even in science, going back to basic biology, you know, I would have learned about our atoms, where protons, where neurons, where the energy. So it's getting back into that, and we are energy. You know, I'm understanding we are nature. The nature is within us, and science is even proving, you know, we're made from the same energy that makes stars, that knows how to grow a seed into a tree. We are that. We're part of that. Whereas, you know, in Western medicine, we could be sent to one doctor if we had headaches, another doctor for, you know, if a woman had menstrual issues, another doctor maybe if they had an earache. In my world, it's all going to be the same disharmony in the body system, and it's tapping into that the channels, everything is interconnected. So my thing is always to help someone to get to the root issue and treat from the root cause out. The body is only reflecting the mind, actually.
It sounds like there's a very different approach then to medicine when you know, in the Chinese hospitals themselves that you were in, very, very different to the way things are done in the Western world. Yeah,
very, very different, Alan. Yeah, so in Western medicine, while I do respect it, we're just looking at symptoms, and even if people get a diagnosis, it's usually putting a group of symptoms together. But my whole world is understanding what's causing those symptoms. So if any of my clients are listening in, they'll be used to me saying this sentence that in Chinese medicine, which is the oldest medicine in the world, they say our mind is in our blood, and our blood makes our body fluid. So our mind is in our blood, and our blood makes our body fluid. So what I'm seeing, if the mind is stressed and stuck and rigid and caught in any way, then this is reflecting back with the blood and body fluids being stressed and rigid, causing inflammation, autoimmune, and lots more. So my work is all around how is stress, which I believe to be subconscious, causing illness. So this is my whole world, and of helping people understand this, yeah. So after doing all this study, this is where I've ended up so far, yeah.
And in a moment we're going to talk to a young couple who have benefited from your help, a couple who are struggling to have a baby. But I must point out to people as well that I'm quite cynical about these things. So when we did chat first, last summer I introduced you to a young couple. Rather than you produce a couple for me, I produced a couple for you. I'm not going to mention their names yet, but this young couple had been having trouble. They had a couple of miscarriages, and they were very, very upset. But I introduced them to you, and they're now expecting a baby.
Yeah.
And everything is going on nicely, and they are currently very happy.
I think it's 5 miscarriages, wasn't it?
Oh.
Yeah. It was very... Yeah, I remember that, Alan, that after, I think, the interview with Alan said, I have someone for you to meet next door. And
I didn't even tell you in advance, so just sprung a surprise on you.
Yeah, and there's such a great couple, like a really great couple. I'm very fond of them. And they're far into the pregnancy now, and everything is going great, and they've done amazing transformation, and they should be very proud of themselves. Yeah, if they listen.
Well,
to this.
I'm hoping that in the future we will not only be able to talk about them, but able to hear from them themselves, because I know they're very happy with the way things are progressing. But just before we do take a break and then move on to Rona and Mark as well. I must point out, though, that you are not just focused on helping people to get pregnant or to have a baby. You cover a whole range of issues that people come to you with problems with.
Yeah, people come to me with all sorts of problems. And again, because I understand how the subconscious stress is causing symptoms, then it's about where the subconscious stress is, and we all have this stress. I'm understanding it's ancestral. It's what we inherit in our DNA. So we all inherit stress. And I'm seeing how this manifests as symptoms. So I treat people of all ages with all symptoms. So it could be anything from arthritis to asthma to heart issues to anything. It's basically everything Western medicine treats, but I'm always obviously very cautious not to take people off their medication, and it's, I work alongside the medical profession and what they have recommended, and but my thing is helping people to help themselves regardless of what issues that they have.
Right. Getting people to help themselves, but at the same time you will probably advise them to be taking certain herbs or doing certain things, I suppose meditation, all sorts of other techniques.
Yes. So there's exactly, Alan. So there's a combination. So first we see where the root of this problem is. Then the thing is that I do is I help people connect deeper to their own body intelligence and connect back to nature, and I'm a herbalist. I recommend natural herbs, natural supplements. I do create an individual meditation. I think maybe even Mark or Rona might talk about that, and how I helped them with, to connect to meditation, how they helped, transform any residual stress in their own body. And what I do is it's very unique, to be honest, because it's self-learned. Even though I've done all this study, I'd say nearly 95% of what I do is self-learned, and I'm learning every day. And to be honest, I'm seeing much quicker results doing it this way than I did in Western medicine, even using acupuncture and herbs, and people feel more empowered and they learn tools for life. That's what I'm hearing. For example, yesterday evening, I just spoke to one of my clients, and I was just checking in with her about something, and she said, oh my God, she said, everyone is saying I look lighter, I look brighter, I look happier. And I've had 3 sessions with her, and so she had like this chronic fatigue, she was very achy, she had menstrual issues, and she said everything is just now after transforming, getting easier. She feels lighter. She said people are even saying it to her, and this is what I want for everyone. I suppose I'm on a mission just to help everyone to feel better and to transform any symptoms or illness that they have.
Right, well, stay with me, Siobhan, because we are going to connect with Rona and Mark in just a moment after this break.
The Saturday Show with Alan Maguire.
You're listening to Southeast Radio. It is 26 minutes now to 1 o'clock, and this is indeed the Saturday Show. I'm with you till 2 o'clock this afternoon. And in the studio with me, I have Siobhan Kehoe. We're talking about her work as a fertility expert, amongst other things. But I do know that you were treating a young couple. In fact, you only had a session with them this morning.
Yeah. Hi, Mark and Rona. I don't know if you can hear me. But
they can hear you all right.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, so just for anyone listening, I had a standard session with Mark and Rona this morning, and I was quite spontaneous, as I am, and they're such a great couple, and I have so much respect for them, and they've been on quite a journey themselves, and I just thought to ask them literally about 2 hours ago if they'd like to join me on the radio this morning with the focus on giving someone else hope out there. So this is very short notice. I think Mark was even out the night before last, so this is very short notice, and I'm very grateful to you both, for being here. Thanks, Mark and Rona.
No worries. Yeah, thanks indeed to both. Mark, were you out gallivanting last night?
Yeah, I had a work do last night, so the head isn't too good this morning.
Well, I suppose you're allowed a little celebration now and then. Anyway, listen, great to have you. I'm not obviously putting out your surnames. I'm not going to tell what part of Ireland you're from, because obviously a lot of this is very private for you, and I'm grateful for you to come on the radio and mention what is indeed a very private experience that you're going through. But I believe, Rona, that it hasn't been easy getting pregnant. You've had some trials and tribulations.
Yeah, that's right, Alan. We've been trying for 3 years. We began obviously after a year of no success. We started going to a clinic, and we had all the medical investigations. Some were quite intrusive. We had them all, and no abnormalities were showing up, so we were relieved at that. We tried a treatment called ovulation induction. We tried that on a couple of occasions. That was not successful, and so we found that after a year, we felt the only option left was IVF, and so we began that process. We were very lucky to have three embryos from that round. However, it wasn't successful. So last summer we started thinking, maybe we need to look beyond the normal medicine to see is there something else that could help us along the way. And I found Siobhan, and it was last June we started the sessions with Siobhan. We had about around three sessions, and thankfully it has been successful, and we are expecting.
That's wonderful news. Tell me, though, first of all, how did you find Siobhan? You said you were looking around. So was it online or what?
It was online, yeah, just looking, just browsing at fertility supports, alternative fertility supports outside of IVF clinics.
All right.
And Siobhan came up in that, and when I looked in her page and I saw all the testimonials of others who have gone to her, I was really impressed. And so I had no hesitation in contacting her then.
Well, hang on now. You did have a certain tough job of trying to convince a cynical engineer husband of yours. Mark, admit that you are an engineer. You have a scientific background, and you were quite cynical about this.
Yeah, when I first read it, and I was like, my first reaction was, this hippie nonsense is no good. This isn't going to work.
Yeah.
And even after the first session, I was very, very doubtful. I was like, this is crazy. I'd be very kind of, as you said, I'm an engineering background, very science orientated. I'm very data driven. I like to see the facts, and I make this determination on the facts, and that's my kind of outlook. But this new thing, when I went to this first session, after the session I talked to my wife, and I was like, this is airy fairy stuff. This isn't going to work. But because I suppose, I went full into it, so I committed to the full process, and I said, listen, I'm going to try everything I can to make this work. So I kind of set aside my reluctance, and I just went in full whack,
And here you are now, an expectant father.
Yeah. So I was proven wrong, I suppose. There is more out there than just the science side of things, like, the spirituality, your body, as you mentioned, the energy in your body. Like, I wouldn't have known anything about that before, but now I believe all that,
And you've learned to meditate, I believe.
Yeah. So, I suppose throughout Siobhan's sessions, like, she would give you your own individual meditation to do to start, kind of connect to your energy in your body. And again, even saying it, like, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there listening to the radio going, what's this guy talking about? Like, and I was one of you before all this, I really was, like. But yeah, I found, like, with the meditation, I kind of got tapped into this thing called mindfulness, I think I'd like to call it, like, you kind of, so the way I kind of, again, I'm only new to the game, like, so I'm only kind of learning it, like, so for example, like, I would kind of look at a situation and how you react to the situation that kind of gets you down, like. So for example, if you wake up in the morning, this is something off the top of my head now, like, and you have a flat tire in your car, you wake up, you look at that, and you immediately get angry. But, like, that's not changing. Your anger isn't changing the fact that you have a flat tire, like. So it's how you react to the situation that kind of harms you and kind of disturbs your energy in your body. I'm trying to kind of learn to not react to situations in a negative way so your energy, your body doesn't get impacted.
I like that thinking. Rona, you mentioned IVF, and I believe IVF can be incredibly expensive. Is that right?
Yes, it can. Now, we were very lucky that at the time we started, we were able to avail of the free scheme that was introduced.
Very good. Yeah.
So we were very lucky. It just came in at the time we were being referred for IVF.
Right, yes. So you were very lucky in that, because it can be incredibly expensive.
Yes, very expensive, yeah.
And then all your sessions which you've on, they've been all by Zoom. Is it all online?
All online, yeah.
Yeah.
Every one of them was online, yeah.
All of them were online.
Which means, of course, Siobhan, that you can access, you can provide your consultations to anywhere in the world.
Yeah, no, and I do see people internationally, and Rona and Mark, I won't say where they are, but they are, a distance away, a fair distance. So, it's great to do these sessions, and I do think, is there anything, Rona and Mark, that you feel, that maybe will help someone else out there, or that, because it's really hard for me to explain it, but Rona and Mark, I think I don't say too much about them, but I think it helped on all different levels. Do you think? Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I'm a firm believer in medicine, and for us, it was the first port call when things weren't happening naturally for us. But I suppose when medicine wasn't the answer in this case for what we were going through, and looking at an alternative to that, and actually looking a little bit deeper into myself in all of this through the meditations, through I suppose what we were learning in the sessions, was very helpful, and I feel a difference in me myself through all that process.
Yeah.
In how I think and how I feel, and also, I found that you're always kind of looking at yourself in going through infertility. You're always kind of looking at what it is that's wrong with me, but actually, when you take it through the sessions with you, Siobhan, we were taking into account of a much bigger picture, and even thinking, what innocuous generational stuff that we thought was irrelevant, that maybe looking at that and seeing that maybe that has impacted us in a strange and unusual way. Even that learning has been really has made a difference.
Yeah,
I think it's an amazing story. And Rona and Mark, thank you for sharing with that with us. By the way, do you mind me asking, when will this new arrival appear in the world?
The new arrival is due in June.
Oh, fantastic!
So, yeah.
Can I get a promise out of you for maybe the family photograph by WhatsApp, and we'll have a look and share that information.
Yes, absolutely.
And just have
very happy to.
And have a chat again, maybe. It's just brilliant. And listen, congratulations to you both. And
thank you very much.
Great to talk to you, Rona and Mark.
Thanks very much, Rona and Mark. And they had mentioned there, I know we're just touching on it, intergenerational stress, because in fairness they did powerful transformation, which we all have. We all have this intergenerational stress that we carry. Animal breeders understand this, and for some reason as humans we think that we're different, but it's about helping people to transform that so that the child can be free.
Absolutely.
So they're incredible. Thanks so much again for coming on to give hope.
Thanks to you both. Thanks, Rona and Mark.
Thank you.
Now, just before we finish up, I want to just clarify a couple of things then, Siobhan. How can people find out more about you? Where do they go?
All right. I can give a phone number and my website, and so even though my work is under fertilitytreatment.ie, I'm planning to branch away from this gradually, because it's not actually fertility work I'm doing really. I'm just helping people to recognise where the imbalance is and to transform that. But my website is fertilitytreatment.ie. The phone number, Alan, thanks, is 05392 70725. So that's 05392 70725. And and I like, and don't let cost hold anyone back. If anyone has any issues at all, in my heart I'm here just to help anyone with whatever that they're going through. And I am doing a masterclass actually on Thursday the 30th. It's my first couples fertility masterclass, and my view is that it's best to see both people. Each is 50% of this potential embryo. So I'm doing a couples masterclass online at a very reasonable price on Thursday the 30th of this month, and it's at 8 p.m. And if anyone's interested, you can email me or there's a girl that works with me, Rachel, and we will get back to you. Will I give the email address, Alan?
Yeah, do.
Yeah. The email address, if anyone's listening, is fertilitytreatment.ie at gmail.com. So fertilitytreatment.ie at gmail.com.
And it's on
thanks.
Thursday the 30th of January.
Thursday the 30th this month, January,
Right, perfect. And it'll give people an opportunity who might be even cynical, like as Mark was, to dip their toe into it and see what exactly this is all about. And then make the decision if they're going to. Yeah.
Great. And I'm planning to share, I think, probably 30 years of experience and what I'm learning, to share that with people in that hour or so, just to give people tips. So even if people did the masterclass and nothing else, it will help people just to learn and understand how they can help themselves and to understand that the body intelligence more in depth.
Well,
thanks, Alan.
Absolutely, it's been brilliant. I'm looking forward so much to catching up more with you, and also the fact that, as I said, I have my young couple who are now successfully expecting a baby, all because they claim it's 100% what you've done for them. So I'm hoping that they'll also share their experiences in the future programme. Just so people know that I'm not just accepting at face value everything that comes along directly from you, that I am cynical enough to put in my own guinea pigs, as it were, to experiment.
Thanks, Well, in my work, I don't claim any of the success. It's people themselves that do the transformation, and I'm just the support. But thanks, Alan. And I'm blown away, honestly, daily by people's transformation, how the body intelligence responds, and honestly it's my privilege to be able to support people with that. This is my passion, it's what I love. So if I can help anyone, please do reach out.
Thank you very much, Siobhan.
Thanks,
and looking
Alan,
forward to our next chat.